This is the name, Khadas. When you open it, there you have it. It comes packed, as I said, like a book. You can immediately see there's a USB cable included with actually branded from Khadas as well, which is pretty nice. And the actual box is right here. I'm gonna try to remove it. Yeah, very robust, very solid. That's for the packaging. It's small, it's simple, it's efficient. That's all you want. And it has some specifications here about the actual box, and in the back it has the model. In this case it's a Pro. It comes available in 3 models, Basic, Pro and Max. We're gonna go through that later, but obviously the Max has higher specifications than the Basic one. Okay, so this is the VIM2 Khadas box. The first thing you notice once you get it in your hands is the ports on the side. They're all on the same side. You see as well the interior, the hardware, the processor and the memory and all the chipsets inside. So you have 2 USB ports, you have one Type-C USB port, you have the HDMI and the Ethernet port as well. Immediately visible, you have 3 function buttons right here, which I will talk about later. You have a GPIO 40-pin expandable socket right here, which is really the standout for this Khadas box, but again, I'll talk about those details later. And once you look at it, you can very easily spot the CPU. It has an octa-core CPU. You can spot DDR4 RAM chipsets, which has 4, 2 in the back, 2 in the front, for a total of 3 gigabytes of RAM. You can see the storage, the eMMC flash memory, in this case for 32 gigabytes. And you can very easily see as well the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module right there in the corner. Now for all the other details, all the more tiny hardware specifications, I'm just gonna open this box up and show you just the actual chipset on its whole. Okay, so now about the more detailed pieces of hardware we can find in the VIM2. Again, you can easily spot the CPU right here, the octa-core. You can see the storage, the eMMC Samsung storage right here, in this case 32 gigabytes. You can see the RAM, DDR4 RAM on the back, and on the front 4 chipsets for a total of 3 gigabytes of RAM, in this case, in this model, which is a Pro model. You can easily spot the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth module right here. MCU for power management right here, this small chipset, very important to manage the power of the device. Then still on the back, we have the SPI unit right here with 2 megabytes of memory, also very important. And going back to the upper side of the box, we can find here a RTS header, and we can find a fan header here. You can just attach a small fan for to cool off the entire board. Actually, I have one here, one small fan. It's not included with this box, but you can easily find one. So you're just gonna plug it right here if I can. Yeah. And then you just put it whatever you want. You can, this is completely customizable for users. So that's just one example of what you can do. So one of the main standouts from the VIM2 do-it-yourself box is the GPIO 40-pin expansion socket right here, which allows programmers and users to expand the board with more ports and more chipsets and more processing power and whatever you can imagine to do with it. So I have some examples here of how to expand the board. I have one here which has a few more ports here on the side. So what you're gonna do is just be careful and just fit it right here, and that's it. You have now double the potential for the board. Besides the GPIO, pins, you also have pogo pads across the board. So you have one long line here, another one here, and we even have 6 here very subtly fitted right here. Again, I'm just going to show you one example. We have another board here which has some pogo pins right here. So what you're going to do is simply you're going to fit them in place, and then you even have here the holes from the board, and everything will just connect in a very intuitive form. Of course, you have to have the tools, you have to take your time to really fit it together, but everything is very intuitive, everything is very obvious where to do and how to do it. So that's pretty much it. Once we turn on the VIM2 box, we have Android 7 Nugget stock version. I'm just going to show you that it's actually the real deal. So you can just go to settings, and you have the standard Android menu. You can go to more settings right here, and I will show you first and foremost where is it? About device. I will show you. Yeah, there you go, Android 7.1.2. So that's what you're gonna get once you get the VIM2 box. A few cool functions the VIM2 box has is fan control. Like if you have a cooling fan attached to the device, you can go to the cooling fan settings, and you can change the speed from low to medium to high speeds very intuitively. You just select whatever you want, or just automatic, which is the recommended setting. Besides that, you also have control over the LED light from your box. You can change for heartbeat modes, always on, always off, or just the more smooth breath modes. So those are some of the special functions of the Vim box. Okay. So the VIM2 box has a cool custom-made bootloader, which is the KBI, Khadas bootloader instructions, where among many things, the programmer, the user, can set up the device to turn itself on and off through a remote controller, as we're gonna see next. So now it's off. Now it's in standby with the voltage very low, and as soon as we turn it back on, yeah, I cannot turn on with a remote. So besides that, there's another function, the double OL, which allows you to turn it back on and off remotely through your computer, or also through an app on your phone, which is what we're going to see next. Now it's turned off in standby, and it's with the WOL. You can turn it on remotely through a computer or through a smartphone as well. And now it's on through the computer. Okay. So the VIM2 box can also be powered on by booting the operative system of Ubuntu from Linux, and this is what we're seeing right now. It's booting up, it's connected through HDMI to a TV. So once it's on, we're going to show you the system and how it functions in the most, in the normal way. So this is Ubuntu Mate. Immediately you can connect the Wi-Fi. We have a Wi-Fi connection. We have a normal files folders and the browser on top where we can open the internet. So you have this option or the option to use Android system. So that's pretty much it. So the Vim2 box has the Linux kernel. We can check here the different versions. Terminal has been open. We have the Linux kernel version 4.9.26 and as well as the Ubuntu version 16.04. Cool.